There is no doubt about the effectiveness of Crime Stoppers on the local level. But this reenactment is the first multi-state effort. This true story of senseless killing began in New York State and ended here in Florida. You may be able to provide some bit of information which could solve this double homicide.
On March 29th, two college students left Buffalo, New York. Their destination? Fort Lauderdale, Florida. For Lisa Eisman and Kim Vaccaro, this was a great adventure. They were heading for the Strip. They would spend their spring break with the thousands of other college students who make the annual migration to South Florida's most popular beachfront area. That was the plan, but something went wrong.
The weirdo. You see,
Conclusion to hitchhike, beginning of a tragic end for the two 20-year-olds. It is known that from Buffalo to Syracuse, then to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and on down to Newburgh, Maryland, it was a lark for Lisa and Kim. When one ride ended, it was not hard to find another trucker willing to help them along. It is believed that they were last seen in North Carolina, just outside Rocky Mount. Who was the driver who stopped on the access ramp to I-95? Did he, in fact, take them safely on the way to be picked up later in another location? Their trail ends here, but someone has the missing bit of information. It is known that violence ended the two young lives. Blows to the head were fatal. Their bodies were found April 2nd in Tampa on Florida's west coast. Grim reminders of the danger that is always faced by those who ride with strangers. If you have any information which could place the girls in another location or lead to the identification of their killer or killers, you can remain anonymous and be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000. Call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. You don't have to get involved, and you could help prevent more tragedies on our highways.
The dramatization you are about to see details the theft of valuable business equipment in a South County high school. A theft which seriously disrupted classes in modern business sciences. Such a crime against students affects the entire community. It must not be tolerated.
Here at Spanish River High School in Boca Raton, students are given many advantages in practical application of business skills. They appreciated the newly acquired equipment which had just been moved into the classrooms. But sometime between 11 p.m. on Friday, May 3rd and 6:30 p.m. Saturday, May 4th, thieves made their way to the west side of the Student Services Administration building. Working quickly to avoid detection, they gained entry by breaking a ground floor window. Once inside, they went about their business of burglarizing the classrooms. Stealing the valuable equipment would be relatively easy. Passed through the window, the machines were loaded into a waiting vehicle. The thieves succeeded in making good their escape, taking with them about $40,000 in modern business equipment. Resale is usually the motive behind such a crime, and a quick sale usually means low bargain prices. You are asked to be on the lookout for these stolen items. 20 Brother Electric 15-inch typewriters, 15 IBM typewriters, 4 Radio Shack Model 4 microcomputers, 4 Radio Shack printers, and 15 ARBM calculators.
If you know anything about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. In Boca del Rey, call 276-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll be given a code number and be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
is...
Information from the public is the key element in locating criminals. Law enforcement officers are asking that you stay on the lookout for these persons wanted for committing serious crimes here in Palm Beach County.
Samuel Gozman, a 36-year-old white male, is 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 150 pounds. Gozman has brown hair and blue eyes. He is wanted on numerous charges, including grand theft and violation of probation. Barbara A. Hirschberger is 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighs 125 pounds, and has red hair with blue eyes. Barbara Hirschberger is 50 years old and is wanted on numerous felony charges, including 4 counts of grand theft and 4 counts of uttering a forgery. Hirschberger's son, Glenn R. Hirschberger, is 23 years old, 5 feet 7 inches, 130 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. He is charged with violation of probation, possession of cocaine, and failure to appear. Black male Freddie Green was born September 6, 1962. He is wanted for robbery and failure to appear. Lucy Maria Cruz, also known as Luz Cruz, is 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighs between 100 and 130 pounds. This white female has black hair and brown eyes. She is wanted in Palm Beach County for armed robbery and in Dade County for the sale of narcotics. If you have information about any of these wanted persons or know something about any serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Rewards up to $1,000.
Information from the public is the key element in locating criminals. Law enforcement officers are asking that you stay on the lookout for these persons wanted for committing serious crimes here in Palm Beach County.
Samuel Gozman, a 36-year-old white male, is 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighs 150 pounds. Gozman has brown hair and blue eyes. He is wanted on numerous charges, including grand theft and violation of probation. Barbara A. Hirschberger is 5 feet 3 inches tall, weighs 125 pounds, and has red hair with blue eyes. Barbara Hirschberger is 50 years old and is wanted on numerous felony charges, including 4 counts of grand theft and 4 counts of uttering a forgery. Hirschberger's son, Glenn R. Hirschberger, is 23 years old. He is charged with violation of probation, possession of cocaine, and failure to appear. If you have information about any of these fugitives, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Each Wednesday on Eyewitness 12 News, Crime Stoppers' dramatizations of unsolved felony crimes remind you that law enforcement needs your help, your involvement. Your response and the dedication of citizen volunteers have made Crime Stoppers one of the most successful programs of its type in the nation. Sheriff Richard Willey has details.
Over the last 4 years, Palm Beach County has experienced a 20% population increase. This has also meant an increase in crime. But thanks to you and your active participation in Crime Stoppers, we've also gained nationwide attention in the war against crime. Law enforcement agencies throughout our area are counting an increasing number of successes. Only recently, a call to your TIPS line resulted in the apprehension of one of Philadelphia's 5 most wanted fugitives. In the past 2 years, calls to the TIPS line have given us more than 3,000 leads on criminal activity in our county. Many are still being actively followed. Since the program began, 344 cases have been cleared, 249 arrests made, and in stolen property recovered and narcotics seized, the total is almost $11.5 million. The diligence of the Civilian Board of Directors has made your Crime Stoppers #1 in the country in cost-effective operation. I know I speak for the entire law enforcement community in saying thank you. Together, we're getting the job done.
Call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Bank robbery is one of our most serious and potentially dangerous crimes. It creates a situation which often leads to violence and endangers the lives of many innocent people. Crime Stoppers is asking for your help in apprehending one such criminal. Any information could be valuable, and you can tell what you know without getting involved.
The date was August 1st. The time, just before noon. And this man was headed for trouble. At 11:50 a.m., he entered City Federal Savings Bank at 9242 West Glades Road in Boca Lions Plaza. His actions attracted no special attention at first. He picked up a loan application, glanced around the lobby, then walked to the loan cashier.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Hi, who do I see to open up a new account?
Yes, if you go to your left, the partition in the back, and we'll be with you momentarily.
Thank you.
Okay. Hello?
Put the money in the bag.
Pardon me?
I said put the money in the bag.
I gotta go in the back room. I
Just stay here. Here's the bag.
The man handed her a white plastic bag. Although she had not seen a gun, the threat was real. The cashier quickly handed over the cash. As the robber turned to escape, he was caught by bank cameras. You may recognize the black male in his early 20s who could even now be flaunting his unaccustomed wealth. He is about 6 feet to 6 feet 1 inches tall, 150 pounds, with a thin build. At the time of the robbery, he was wearing a long-sleeved polo shirt, white with red, blue, and yellow stripes, white shorts, and a white painter's-type hat.
If you have any information on this bank robbery or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. In the Boca del Rey area, 276-TIPS. You don't have to give your name. Be an eyewitness anonymous. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
The crime you're about to see was committed in broad daylight by a thief who used a station wagon as a weapon. The victim's injuries were as devastating as a gunshot wound. Now the Sheriff's Department is asking for your help in identifying the man responsible.
The date was Thursday, August 1st, and the employees at 4538 West Rose Drive in Riviera Beach were hard at work. It was 8:30 in the morning when the man pulled into the parking lot, then headed for the rear entrance of the Industrial Marketing Equipment Company. But this man was no customer. Once inside the building, he hoped to escape detection until he could complete the daring daylight robbery. Timing was critical. He was within a few feet of the door, and escape was almost assured when the job foreman caught a glimpse of the intruder. The employees were not going to let the man get away that easily.
Hey, you, stop! Hey! Hey, you, stop!
For one, it was only a glancing blow. The other was thrown some 25 feet. Harry Smith, age 43, lay critically injured with severe skull fractures and lacerations while the thief made his getaway. The suspect is a black male, about 25 years of age, approximately 5 feet 10 inches tall, 140 pounds. He was driving a light brown Chevrolet station wagon, believed to be an early 70s model. Any information about the man or the suspect vehicle could be valuable.
If you have any information about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS. Don't give your name. Be an eyewitness anonymous. You'll receive a code number and be eligible for up to $1,000 reward.
The crime you're about to see was committed in broad daylight by a thief who used a station wagon as a weapon. The victim's injuries were as devastating as a gunshot wound. Now the Sheriff's Department is asking for your help in identifying the man responsible.
The date was Thursday, August 1st. The time, 8:30 a.m., when the man pulled into the parking lot of the Industrial Marketing Equipment Company in Riviera Beach. Entering the rear door, he picked up a piece of equipment and turned to leave. But this daring daylight robbery would not be that easy.
Hey, you, stop!
One employee was only slightly injured, but Harry Smith, age 43, suffered severe skull fracture and lacerations. The suspect is a black male, about 25 years old, 5 feet 10 inches, 140 pounds. He was driving a light brown Chevrolet station wagon, early 70s model.
If you have any information about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS. Don't give your name, be an eyewitness anonymous. You'll receive a code number and be eligible for up to $1,000 reward.
What began with the response to a car afire led police to the investigation of a missing person and to the discovery of a homicide. After months of investigation, many questions remain unanswered. You may be able to provide a vital clue.
Elizabeth Ann Hucko was a quiet young woman. Sometimes described as an introvert, she had made few close friends and kept mostly to herself. Neighbors in the Bellhop Trailer Park, where Elizabeth lived alone, knew her as a hard worker whose interest in Bible studies frequently occupied her leisure time. On September 2nd, 1983, Elizabeth Hucko was apparently in the process of moving, although no one has been able to explain the presence of a white male sitting in the driver's seat of her car, which was not in its accustomed parking place. Then, Elizabeth Hucko vanished.
On September 5th, a car was found ablaze on Delray Beach. After the fire was extinguished, the vehicle identification numbers revealed it was this car. That was when we discovered that Elizabeth Hucko was missing.
The back seat of the car had been saturated with gasoline and most of her belongings destroyed. On September 6th, the body of a young woman was found floating face down in the Indian River at Melbourne, more than 100 miles away. Positive identification was made. Elizabeth Ann Hucko, born September 16, 1954, 5 feet 5 inches tall, between 120 and 130 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes, had been dead for several days. Cause of death was strangulation or drowning. Why was she so far from home while her car, a 1975 beige or tan Plymouth Valiant four-door, was set afire in Delray?
If you have information about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS. In Boca Delray, 276-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You could be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Anyone leaving the scene of an accident which results in personal injuries faces a serious charge. But when that accident results in the death of a pedestrian, the fugitive driver can be charged with vehicular homicide. You may know something which could help solve one such case.
No one has said why Reno O. Dorothy Lamonta was walking along State Road 441, south of Lantana Road, in the pre-dawn hours of June 22nd. In fact, little is known about the 36-year-old Cuban male, who apparently had only recently moved to the area from Seattle, Washington. Whatever his reason for the late-night walk, he could not have anticipated the careless disregard for human life exhibited by the driver of the oncoming car. Although no witnesses have come forward, evidence indicates Dorothy Lamonto was caught by the left front fender and thrown against the side of the car. The side mirror was torn from its mounting on the driver's side as his body rolled with the motion of the car, then lay still on the side of the dark roadway. When found by a passing motorist, Reno Dorothy Lamonto was dead. The car is believed to be a 1975 Buick Riviera, medium metallic brown in color. It is probable that the window on the driver's side was badly cracked or perhaps completely shattered. You may have noticed such a car. That information could be valuable.
If you know anything about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS, in Belle Glade at 996-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Anyone leaving the scene of an accident which results in personal injuries faces a serious charge. But when that accident results in the death of a pedestrian, the fugitive driver can be charged with vehicular homicide. You may know something which could help solve one such case.
No one has said why Reno O. Dorothy Lamonto was walking along State Road 441, south of Lantana Road, in the pre-dawn hours of June 22nd. Whatever his reason for the late-night walk, he could not have anticipated the careless disregard for human life exhibited by the driver of the oncoming car. Although no witnesses have come forward, evidence indicates Dorothy Lamonto was caught by the left front fender and thrown against the side of the car. The side mirror was torn from its mounting on the driver's side as his body rolled with the motion of the car. When found by a passing motorist, Reno Dorothy Lamonto was dead. The car is believed to be a 1975 Buick Riviera, medium metallic brown in color. It is probable that the window on the driver's side was badly cracked or perhaps completely shattered. You may have noticed such a car. That information could be valuable.
If you know anything about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS, in Belle Glade at 996-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Law enforcement officers are asking for your help in locating these persons wanted for multiple crimes against the citizens of our county.
Ida Butler is 38 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and weighs 200 pounds. She works as a nurse and is wanted on numerous charges of larceny and forgery. White male Alexander H. Becker was born January 1st, 1960. He is 6 feet tall, weighs 200 pounds, and has brown hair and hazel eyes. Becker is wanted for robbery and failure to appear. Eugene M. Burney, also known as Bubba Burney, is 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighs 225 pounds. This black male is wanted on numerous charges, including burglary and murder. Every D. Parks, also known as Every Bailey or Denise Parker, was born July 6, 1955. She is 5 feet 1 inches tall and weighs 126 pounds. This black female is wanted on many charges of larceny and issuing worthless checks. White male Robert T. Henry faces numerous charges of robbery, burglary, and failure to appear. Robert Henry is 5 feet 6 inches, weighs 180 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. His date of birth is August 14, 1945. Henry M. Edward, or Edwards, also known as Pee-wee, was born June 5, 1955. He is 5 feet 9 inches and weighs 160 pounds. He has numerous charges against him, including aggravated assault and failure to appear. James L. Bierman is wanted for robbery. Bierman is 5 feet 11 inches, weighs 205 pounds, and has red hair and brown eyes. He is 32 years old. Frank A. McKenzie, age 22, is wanted for grand theft. McKenzie is 5 feet 9 inches, weighs 150 pounds, and is also charged with failure to appear. Information about any of these wanted persons could be valuable. Call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS, in Boca del Rey, 276-TIPS, and in the Glades, 996-TIPS. No one will know who made the call. You can be an eyewitness anonymous and still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Cut 2. Law enforcement officers need your help in apprehending these wanted persons. Law enforcement officers need your help in apprehending these wanted persons.
Ricky McLean, also known as Ricky McLean, is wanted for grand theft and failure to appear. This black male is 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighs 180 pounds. He is 31 years old. Terry A. McLaughlin is a white male born June 19, 1962. McLaughlin's charges include possession of cocaine, trespassing, and failure to appear. He is 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 145 pounds, and has brown hair and green eyes. Black male Frank A. McKenzie was born September 12, 1963. He is 5 feet 9 inches and weighs 150 pounds. McKenzie is wanted on charges of grand theft and failure to appear. Eugene M. Burney, also known as Bubba Burney, is 42 years old, 5 feet 10 inches, and weighs 225 pounds. Burney's charges include burglary, murder, and failure to appear. Call Crime Stoppers at 689 TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. You'll be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
58.
Crime Stoppers number 205. 60 seconds. Cut 3. 3.
Vandalism in any form is a costly criminal act. But when the target of destruction is a cable line, the number of persons victimized makes it a crime of community-wide outrage.
Over the past months, vandals have targeted Atlantic Cablevision Limited. The most recent incident occurred September 15 in the area of Haverhill and 12th Street in West Palm Beach. It was Sunday evening, about 6:15, when the person or persons unnamed arrived at the site of the critical communications cable. Using bolt cutters, they severed the cable, which served about 9,000 subscribers. You may have noticed someone in the area at the time and not realize the importance of your information. The boldness of this daytime act of aggressive vandalism makes it probable that someone witnessed the criminals at work. The repeated acts of vandalism against Atlantic Cablevision have created a hardship in additional workloads and costly replacements, and inconvenienced many thousands of residents. Tampering with power lines, power poles, and cable lines is a local, state, and federal offense. With your help, it can be stopped.
If you know anything about the vandalism to the Atlantic Cablevision equipment, or have information on any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689 TIPS. In the South County area, 276 TIPS. In the Glades area, 996 TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. You don't have to give your name. You'll be given a code number, and you'll be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000.
When school property is deliberately destroyed, we are all victims. Crime Stoppers is asking for your help in identifying the person or persons responsible for setting fire to this school. A fire investigators have labeled arson.
The date was August 6th, the time, about 9:30 p.m. Lake Worth Junior High School was dark and quiet. There was nothing unusual to see or hear, or was there? The unlocked window offered an easy entrance. Soon, what may have started as simple vandalism ignited into a serious act of arson. the coach's office was set afire. The vandals wasted no time in leaving the scene. Perhaps they knew that the Lake Worth Fire Department would soon be called into action to battle the blaze. As these actual pictures show, the damage to the coach's office caused the students of Lake Worth Junior High School the loss of valuable equipment and facilities, all in a senseless show of aggression by some anonymous criminal.
If you have any information about this or any serious crime, tell it to Crime Stoppers. Call 689-TIPS. You could remain anonymous and still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
When crime became the #1 concern in Palm Beach County, Crime Stoppers was the citizens' response.
Since September 1981, information from the Crime Stoppers tips line has given law enforcement and the criminal justice community an effective way to help stop crime. Anonymous calls have led to 282 arrests, 398 cases have been solved, and in narcotics seized and stolen property recovered, the total is almost $11.5 million. Anonymity and rewards for information have been the key to getting the needed information to law enforcement. The effectiveness of this total community effort has been recognized by the Attorney General of the state of Florida. Crime Stoppers of Palm Beach County received first-place honors as the Citizens Initiative Group of the Year for its effectiveness in the prevention of crime in our county. Congratulations to the citizens of Palm Beach County and your continuing support of Crime Stoppers.
An unexplained death has sheriff's investigators asking for your help. Was it a homicide or an accident, possibly drug-related? Someone has the answers, and that information could be valuable.
It was about 9 a.m. on Tuesday, September 24th, when Richard Salcido picked up his car from the body shop in Boca Raton. Beyond this point, many questions are remaining unanswered. This scenario is a reconstruction of events which may have led the likable young off-duty fireman to a tragic death. It is known that he was not alone in his last hours. Perhaps prompt attention could have reversed the action of a drug, which the medical examiner's report indicates was found in the body. It is possible that more lives could be lost if the drugs remain on the streets. Was it panic or a mindless cover-up that prompted the reaction of his associates? The helpless man may have been unconscious when they decided he must be moved. Perhaps he was already dead. When Richard Salcido did not report for duty at the Boca Raton fire station on Friday, September 27th, he was reported missing. His body was found in the M1 Canal, about a mile south of West Lake Park Road at 3 p.m. on that date. Who was the driver who left Salcido's car, a 1980 black two-door BMW, in the long-term parking lot at Palm Beach International Airport? It was found by authorities on October 9th, 15 days after he was last seen by his friends and co-workers. Information which may seem unimportant to you could help solve the mystery of this untimely death of another Palm Beach County citizen.
If you know anything about the death of Richard Salcido or have information on any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS, South County area 276-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. You don't have to give your name. You'll be given a code number and be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Someone has information which could lead to the identification of a killer. Sheriff's investigators think that a call to the anonymous tips line may be just what is needed, and that could mean a reward for the caller.
This is a reconstruction of events, as evidence indicates they may have occurred on Saturday, November 2nd. This was the scene at 821 Dixie Highway in Lake Worth, where Matty Oxman was at work. It was early morning when two customers indicated interest in the brown and red Coachman motorhome parked on the lot at Southern Auto Sales. While one man waited, the other accompanied Oxman to the office. Returning with the key to the trailer, the three men entered. This was to be Oxman's fatal move. Now, there could be no turning back. The attackers knew the motorhome must be moved to delay discovery of their brutal attack. This was Saturday morning. There were a few early shoppers and some delivery men getting ready for the busy weekend at Waterside Plaza. Someone must have watched as the driver pulled into the east side parking area of the shopping mall at 10th Avenue North and Florida Mango in suburban Lake Worth. There, the criminals vanished. It was 11 a.m. Tuesday, November 5th, when sheriff's investigators found the body of 35-year-old Matty Oxman. The cause of death, multiple stab wounds. Inside the motorhome, signs of his struggle for life were evident. This is one of the persons wanted for questioning in this brutal murder. He is described as a white male, 37 to 42 years old, 5 feet 6 inches to 5 feet 7 inches tall, medium build, 160 to 180 pounds, with black hair, parted on the left side. He was seen wearing a brown leather jacket.
If you have any information about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You are still eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Auto theft, armed robbery, arson. Is there a connection between these three recent crimes? Investigators say yes, and they're asking for your help in identifying the suspects. It was probably early morning, October 22nd, when intruders broke into Rick's 4x4 auto shop on Latham Road. In addition to tools valued at nearly $16,000, they took the dark blue 1986 Ford pickup with roll bar in for service from Alpacker Ford. Henry and Phyllis Passett were to be the next victims. It was about 6:50 a.m. when the pickup pulled into the driveway of their Needles Drive residence in suburban Lake Park. Three men entered through the garage door. The terror began with mace in the victims' faces. While the helpless woman was forced to the floor and tied, her husband was tortured repeatedly with a stun gun and taken into an adjoining room.
Keep your head down on the ground. Shut up! We just want to know where the money is. Where's the money, lady? I don't know where. Come on, lady. We know you got money in this house. Where's the money? Where's the money?
The entire traumatic episode lasted about 20 minutes as the three men ransacked the house, taking jewelry and a large amount of cash.
Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go, man. Hurry up. Go. Come on, man. Get in the truck. Get in the
A little
truck,
after 8 o'clock, a car was reported ablaze at Sandsbury Way and Belvedere. Confirmation of the vehicle identification number revealed this was the stolen getaway pickup, and this was arson. Suspect number 1 is 5 feet 9, 160 pounds, with dark hair, and was called Chi-Chi. Number 2 is 6 feet tall, thin build, and blonde hair. Number 3, no definite description. The three white men were armed with a handgun, a sawed-off shotgun, and a stun gun.
If you have any information about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You can be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Investigators are asking for your help in identifying those responsible for the recent theft of timepieces from businesses on famed Worth Avenue here in Palm Beach.
It was sometime Sunday night, November 3rd, or in the pre-dawn hours of November 4th, when thieves gained access to Samuel Harold Jewels International at 239 Worth Avenue. It took only moments to remove the locks from the front door. Their method was swift, sure, and carefully planned. They went directly to the case of watches. The bandit was selective, taking the jeweled pieces known for their valued style and precision. Jewelry of this value is serialized and, if found, can be positively identified. The thieves fled, taking with them timepieces which included such prestigious names as Piaget, Corum, Movado, and Concord, values in excess of $25,000. You are asked to be on the lookout for unusual bargains with a similar description. Indications are that the same bandits may have been responsible for a similar earlier theft. It was 9:30 p.m. October 23rd when Kimberly Limited at 300 Worth Avenue was the victim. Here again, losses were in excess of $25,000. In addition to the security of some of the world's best automated alarm systems, the police say the real key to preventing such criminal acts is public awareness. You may have noticed something which could provide a valuable clue.
If you know anything about this or any other serious crime, contact Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous and don't give your name. Be signed a code number and be eligible up to $1,000 reward.
The increasing number of burglaries in the city of West Palm Beach and the entire county has law enforcement authorities asking for your help.
Last year, thieves were responsible for over $600 million in stolen property in our state. In burglaries alone, the loss was better than $184 million. Here in Sandalwood Lakes, 21 residential burglaries have been committed in the last 30-day period. This has been the most common method of operation. Entry has been gained through patio or sliding glass doors. The average burglary takes less than 3 minutes. Then the thief is gone, along with your most valued possessions. Crime prevention specialists urge that all valuables be inscribed for easy identification should they be recovered. Your driver's license is best. Secure windows and doors, even if you plan to be away only a few minutes. An unlocked door or window is an invitation to a thief. Indoor as well as outdoor lighting is an excellent deterrent to criminals. An automatic timer for radio and lights will help give your home the appearance that someone is there. But the best advice is to know your neighbors. Organize a neighborhood crime watch and take an active part. Call the crime prevention officer of your local police agency or in the unincorporated areas, the sheriff's office.
If you have information about suspicious activity in the Sandalwood area or know something about any serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name and be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
It is a recognized fact that much of the street crime and violence in our county has increased in direct proportion to the increased use of narcotics and drug dealing. It's also believed that many people are not aware of the danger, even in an occasional contact. Such may be the case in this instance. The police are asking for your help in identifying those responsible for yet another needless killing.
The date was Wednesday, November 6th. The time, a little after 11 p.m., when Wilfred Jean-Baptiste left the Palm Beach Yacht Club on Flagler Drive, where he worked as a kitchen helper. Baptiste headed for home on his bike. He planned to trade the bike for his cousin's car when he reached the apartment he shared with his brother Alej and his cousin Yves Baptiste. Home to the Baptiste was an apartment at 2015.5 Broward Avenue in West Palm Beach. He found the car keys without waking his two sleeping roommates, then went looking for action.
Hey, move a little bit.
the man, man. Hey, here up.
Did Baptiste know the man who shared his last ride? Whatever the motive, his attacker struck without warning. Pulling into the parking lot at Dixie and Jasmine, they left the body of their victim. It was discovered about 7:30 the next morning. Wilfred Jean-Baptiste, Haitian male, born December 24th, 1954, had been beaten about the head and face, but death was caused by the gunshot in the upper leg, which had severed a major blood vessel. Identification was made Thursday night, when the roommates reported him missing, and the car was listed as stolen. On Friday, November 8th, the car was discovered in an alley at the rear of 626 Datura. The 1978 Olds Delta 88 two-door is tan over light brown. Someone may have seen the driver who left this grim evidence of murder in downtown West Palm Beach.
If you know something about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Police believe narcotics may have played a part in another violent crime. They're asking for your help in identifying a killer.
It was just after 11 p.m. on Wednesday, November 6th, when Wilfred Jean-Baptiste left Palm Beach Yacht Club, where he worked as a kitchen helper. After trading his bike for his cousin's car, he went looking for action. Did Baptiste know the man who shared his last ride? Whatever the motive, his attacker struck without warning. It was about 7:30 the following morning when the body was found in the parking lot at Dixie and Jasmine. Wilfred Jean-Baptiste, age 31, had been beaten about the head and face. Death was a result of a gunshot wound to the upper leg, which had severed a major blood vessel. On Friday, November 8th, the car was discovered in an alley at the rear of 626 Datura. The 78 Olds Delta 88 two-door was grim evidence of another senseless murder.
If you know something about this or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Law enforcement officials believe the same man may be responsible for a number of recent bank robberies. They're asking for your help in identifying this bandit.
It was November 15th, late afternoon, and employees at Southeast Bank in Delray Beach were almost finished with the regular Friday rush of customers. At 5:30, the man entered. There was no cause for concern. He was well-dressed and walked quietly to the cashier. There, his attitude changed abruptly.
I got a gun. Fill it up. Hurry up. Fill it up. Hurry up. Fill it up. Come on. Hurry up.
The teller quickly handed him the money, and as he turned to leave, he unknowingly faced the hidden television camera. This black male is 6 feet tall, weighs 150 to 160 pounds, and has short cropped hair with a receding hairline. He is about 25 years old. It is believed he is responsible for several similar bank robberies in Palm Beach and Broward counties. If you were in the area of Southeast Bank at 1000 East Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach on the afternoon of November 15, you may have noticed something which could provide a valuable lead.
If you have any information about this crime or any other serious crime, call Crime Stoppers, 689-TIPS, in Boca Del Rey, 276-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. Don't give your name. You'll still be eligible to a $1,000 reward.
The crime reenactment you're about to see, although non-violent, is particularly traumatic for the victim, and your help in identifying the thieves could prevent more such crimes against our older citizens.
Although it is not her name, we'll call the victim Rose Saxon. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on November 21st when Rose parked her car in the Publix parking lot at 3000 Broadway in Riviera Beach. As she walked toward the store, she was the perfect target for the practiced con artists.
Goodness gracious, look at this pile of money. Money, all that money. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
What looked like a stack of money was actually newspaper cut to size. But the woman was easily convinced that a portion of the unexpected fortune could be hers. She was told to get $3,000 and in turn would receive $5,000 as the found $15,000 would be split 3 ways. The unsuspecting woman went with the thieves to Palm Beach Bank and Trust, where she took her savings bonds from her safe deposit box. They went next to Barnett Bank to cash the bonds. This man went with the victim into Barnett Bank and waited for the money. They returned to the Publix parking lot and let her out of the maroon and white 2-door car, then sped away. She realized then what had happened, but was too ashamed to tell even her husband.
It was December 18 when Rose Saxon received a phone call from someone masquerading as a police chief.
Hello?
Are you Mrs. Rose Saxon and live in Riviera Beach?
Yes, I am.
I'm the police chief. Remember that incident last month?
Yes, I do.
Well, we recovered your money and we caught one of the suspects.
Oh,
A few minutes later, a woman and a man came to Saxon's house, identified themselves as detectives, and again, the victim went to both banks and withdrew the rest of her savings. This woman stayed with her victim during the entire transaction. She is about 5 feet 5 inches, 130 pounds, with blonde hair and blue eyes. She has a very slim build. The police say that public awareness is the only way to stop such crimes. They're asking for your help in identifying these 2 suspects.
If you have any information about this or any serious crime, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Be an eyewitness anonymous. You don't have to give your name, and you'll still be eligible for a reward of up to $1,000.
In mid-November, the murder of a well-known West Palm Beach city official sent shockwaves throughout the entire community. Sheriff's investigators are asking for your help in piecing together the circumstances which led to her death and identifying the person responsible.
Anita Spearman had endeared herself to many since her arrival in the Palm Beaches in 1962. When she joined former city manager Richard Simmons as his assistant in 1976, it was obvious she had found her niche. Described by friends and coworkers as brilliant, Anita Spearman was a problem solver. Perhaps it was her positive attitude which had pulled her through a distressing bout with cancer and had her well on the way to a healthy future. But Anita Spearman, problem solver for others, was unable to solve her final problem. The 49-year-old woman was said to have been still sleeping when her husband left home to open his business early on the morning of November 16. Who was the person who entered the Mayhew Estates home on Bay Circle Drive in suburban Palm Beach Gardens? He made his way quietly to the bedroom where his unsuspecting victim lay. Her husband reported the grim discovery when he returned home about 8 that morning. According to the medical examiner's report, death was from blows to the head with a blunt instrument and had occurred between 1 and 8 a.m. What was the motive? Robbery? revenge for some imagined business slight, or some other unresolved problem of her own.
Any information, no matter how trivial or unimportant it may seem to be, could help investigators recreate the circumstances which led to this murder and help pinpoint the person responsible. If you have any information, call 689-TIPS, be an eyewitness anonymous. Your name will never be known, and you can still be eligible for up to a $1,000 reward.
Even when a victim survives the physical trauma of rape, the devastating after effects can often last a lifetime. Your help is needed in preventing more acts of violence by one such criminal.
The name of the victim in this case is fictitious. The crime is real. We'll call the woman Jeannie. The date was October 15. The place, Coral Cove Park, one of the area's most popular beaches. It was late afternoon with still plenty of daylight left. For Jeannie, it was ideal. She was alone on the beach. The solitude matched her mood. But someone watched as Jeannie walked along the water's edge. Watched and waited. She was just out of view of the lifeguard station when the attack came. Forced to the sand, the helpless girl was no match for the rapist. Her protest could not be heard over the sounds of the wind and waves. Then, her attacker fled. The devastated young woman made her way back to the lifeguard station where help was summoned. It is believed the same man is responsible for several similar incidents recently reported in the Jupiter area. Investigators feel that more may have gone unreported. Any added information could be valuable in apprehending this white male, described as 185 to 200 pounds, medium build with dark brown, almost black hair. At the time of this attack, he was wearing a white t-shirt with beige shorts, which could be swimming trunks.
If you have been a similar victim or know someone answering this man's description, call Crime Stoppers at 689-TIPS. Remain anonymous. We don't need your name, just your information. You may be eligible for up to $1,000 reward.